A very good evening to you. I'm Salima Shimwefeleni Masipa, your anchor for tonight's edition of Primetime News. Leading tonight's bulletin, South African voters turned out for a landmark general election today, with the ruling ANC's exclusive grip on power in doubt 3 decades after the advent of democracy. Some 27 million voters are registered for the most uncertain poll since the ANC led the nation out of apartheid rule, with opposition challenges from both the left and right. We now delve into the details of our lead story with Konjeni Ambinga.
With opposition challenges from both the left and right, unemployment and crime at near record levels, and a new generation growing up with no memory of the struggle against white minority rule, the ruling party may need to share power. In Soweto, the former black township that became the unofficial capital of the liberation battle, elderly ANC loyalists turned out early, but as the queues lengthened, there were signs of disillusionment within the party. In Nkandla, in the volatile eastern province of KwaZulu-Natal, some voters were confused by the new voting system. For the first time, 3 ballots, 2 for the National Assembly and 1 for the Provincial Assembly. Voters will choose the 400 members of the National Assembly, who in the coming weeks will then choose a president from among their number. For the first time since the advent of democracy in 1994, the ANC could be forced to negotiate a coalition in order to remain in government. Konjeni Ambinga reporting for Primetime News.
Back home, where residents of Ndama Sun City and long informal settlements in Rundu are planning to stage a protest on the 4th of June 2024 if their water problems are not resolved. The affected residents held a meeting at Ndama on Monday, where they called on the Rundu Town Council through their spokesperson David Nekaro to have their water restored in 7 days. Sawi Hausiku filed this report.
According to Nekaro, the affected residents have been without water since September last year. Residents from the 2 informal settlements, Kaunahamutenya and Marthina Kangoro, expressed how the prolonged disruption of water has forced them to resort to cutting municipal pipes to access water and travel long distances to fetch water, which exposes them to various risks, especially at night. They suggested that the town council puts up dams or boreholes in the affected residential areas. Meanwhile, Nekaro further urged the town council to find a solution to the water problems within 7 working days, or risk residents coming to their offices through a protest on 4th June. Rundu Town Council Public Relations Officer Benjamin Makai said the NAM water pumps have not been able to fill up the reservoirs in the 2 areas. Hence, council is looking into replacing old pipes with new ones while waiting on the new water system NAM Water is planning to construct. Sheila Perestrello reporting for Primetime News.
Meanwhile, in the Oshikoto region, the Oshikoto Regional Council chairperson, Samuel Shivute, is urging the boy child to be supportive and understand the natural menstrual cycle of a girl child. Shivute, during a menstrual hygiene day celebration at Ipundi Secondary School in Omuthia on Tuesday, said in most cases, a boy child embarrasses a girl child when she is on her period, which has caused them to be absent from school. Our reporter in the Oshikoto region brings us this report.
Shivute said that it is the responsibility of a boy child to make sure that a girl child is safe during classes. Shivute also encouraged schools to educate the boy child and other children in order to kill the stigma associated with nature. He said we must ensure that provision is made to have access to sanitary pads at schools for free, as menstruation is not a choice that one makes, but rather a given undertaking by creation. Sheila Perestrello reporting for Primetime News.
On to news from further afield. The European Union today announced the creation of an AI office of tech experts, lawyers, and economists to regulate artificial intelligence under a sweeping new law. The EU this year approved the world's first comprehensive rules to govern AI, especially powerful systems like OpenAI's ChatGPT, after long intense negotiations. More from this report by AFP.
First proposed in 2021, the bloc raced to get the law in the books after ChatGPT burst onto the scene in 2022, leaving users stunned by its ability to churn out coherent texts, including poems, within seconds. The European Commission said the AI office aims at enabling the future development, deployment, and use of AI in a way that fosters societal and economic benefits and innovation while mitigating risks. The 140-member AI office will be established within the Commission, which is the EU's executive arm and also acts as the bloc's powerful tech regulator. EU's top tech enforcer, Thierry Breton, said the office will foster a European ecosystem that is innovative, competitive, and respectful of EU's rules and values. Sheila Perestrello reporting for Primetime News.
Stay tuned for your top roundup with the business segment thereafter. Welcome to the Primetime Biz segment, the slot dedicated to all things business and economics. We commence with the banking sector. Nedbank Namibia's head of small and medium enterprise banking, Sam Ikela, said supporting SMEs is imperative given their significant contribution to the Namibian economy. Sylvia Hashondali filed this report.
Ikela noted two key initiatives supporting small and medium enterprises, one of which is the SME Economic Recovery Loan Scheme. The scheme, a government-backed initiative in partnership with local banks, provides $500 million Namibian to SMEs for improved financial access, covering operational expenses like salaries and rent. Additionally, with the Credit Guarantee Scheme, the Namibia Special Risks Insurance Association offers 60% collateral cover after a successful assessment of an SME's bankability and lack of collateral. Ikela further stated that Nedbank Namibia, as an industry partner, is expanding its financing portfolio within the SME market, offering a wide array of tailored financial products. Sheila Perestrello reporting for Primetime News.
Now on to economic news from beyond our borders. A major union representing tens of thousands of people at South Korean tech giant Samsung Electronics said today workers will go on strike for the first time ever, potentially threatening key global semiconductor supply chains. A spokesperson said union members, around 20% of the company workforce, would use annual leave to strike for one day on June 7th, leaving the door open for a potential general strike down the road. AFP brings us this report.
Management at the world's biggest producer of memory chips has been locked in negotiations with the union since January over wages, but the two sides have failed to narrow their differences. National Samsung Electronics Union, during a live-streamed press conference, said they were declaring a strike in the face of the company's neglect of laborers. The union, which represents more than 28,000 people, said they tried to solve issues through dialogue. The union further said the responsibility for all collective action now lies squarely on the company. If the strike goes ahead, it will be the first ever walkout strike. If the strike goes ahead, it would be the first ever walkout by workers at the South Korean tech giant. Union President Son Woo-mong said the union had accepted the pay raise proposed by the company, but was asking for one additional holiday plus a transparent system to measure the performance bonus based on the sales profit. A company official told AFP that Samsung will keep in dialogue with the labor union going forward as it has been. Konjeni Yambinga reporting for Primetime News.
This is where the top segment concludes for tonight. Up next is the countrywide weather forecast, followed by a roundup of the latest economic news. Welcome to Sport Planet, the segment dedicated to all things sporting action. We commence with cricket. A short-handed Australia called on a national selector and backroom staff to make up the numbers in a 2020 World Cup warm-up match and still easily defeated Namibia. Veteran opening batsman David Warner led the way in Trinidad on Tuesday following a poor Indian Premier League by his high standards. Despite having 4 support staff deployed as substitute fielders at one stage, Australia restricted the team ranked 14th in the world to 119-9 at Queen's Park Oval in Port of Spain. Warner then punished the Namibians with an unbeaten 54 of 21 balls to guide Australia, who will be one of the favourites when the World Cup begins on Saturday, to a 7-wicket win. On to heavyweight boxing news. Alexander Usyk will face Tyson Fury in a rematch on December 21st in Riyadh, the top Saudi organizer said earlier today after winning their undisputed heavyweight boxing bout earlier this month. The undefeated Ukrainian won by split decision against Britain's Fury in the Saudi capital on May 19th in the first unification fight of the 4-belt era. Stay tuned for your sports roundup. That's it for Wednesday's Primetime News. A parting reminder to follow the on-screen prompts and subscribe to the Nampa TV platform to stay updated on developments shaping our world. From myself, Salima Shumwefeleni Masipa, and the energetic production team behind the scenes, it's good night.